Hello and welcome to Tradespotting, where I cover GME and AMC Technical Analysis. Whether you're watching along on your phone, your laptop, your TV, or your doorbell, you've a lot of power and you've a lot of influence. You see me doing this day in, day out, and you recognize there's an opportunity cost to all of us. Questions about cost are usually met with direction to the chat box, a tweet, or a previous video, maybe a Reddit forum. And the message is always the same. It's worth it to me because it's worth it to you, and it's worth it to all of us. It's a cost we're happy to pay, and that cost is currently 177.81 on market close, 179.49 post market, another percent up. Power speaks truth to power, nothing else. Every tweet, every video, every like, every billboard, every share makes a difference. You're the voice that drives the market now. Every voice, every footstep, every one of you. Let's look at the charts. There we are, 177.81, like we talked about. Let's do the technical analysis for GME first. If you have any questions, just let me know. So this is where we started today, or ended yesterday. Same difference to a certain extent, unless we see a gap. Haha. So price action, we're back inside this wedge. The drop below, we talked about that being a potential fake out. We suggested that it looked like an inverted head and shoulders. We talked about the measured move off that. We talked about how far that might take us. We talked about this being a wedge, the measured moved off that, how far that might take us. The 236 being this level of horizontal resistance above us at 179.49. The measured move being up at 211 from the wedge, from the head and shoulders. Let's see, that's your neckline. Take it across, drag it on the outside. Here you get up to your 179 period on the 15-minute. Not quite your 200, though. You could find yourself there at 190 and think that you'd done well. Beyond that, you'd be looking to the full measured move of the wedge. Otherwise, it's just the same that you had down here, a fake out, and then back into the previous move. A wedge often becomes a channel. Maybe that's what happens here. Look for the strength of the move. If it breaks these sort of areas, you'd be surprised right at the start of the day without some sort of a retest of this previous downward sloping horizontal or resistance line. Now turns support. So that's what we're price action today. Boom. In a bit of a range, tested that area that we broke out of, didn't quite fill this gap, a little bit of work to go before you've done that. Put in that horizontal. Top side of it at the minute is 170 spot 49, bottom side 168 and change. You might expect price action to go there, especially if it doesn't get above this 236. As you can see, that proves to be resistance. Despite your initial exuberance, you didn't manage to make it above the 179 period moving average on the 15 minute. You came back, tested the breakout zone, held above the resistance here at 236 once, twice, 3 times. Top side of the Bollinger Band, you go there having breached the center line. It being so close to this resistance and the body close being above it is interesting. We'll see how tomorrow's price action evolves. It could be that tomorrow price action comes back down. You get the final test of these areas. You put in a proper right hand shoulder on a head and shoulders. And then you go up and do the top side of that move again, up at 186. Area you'd like price action to be above is 212 spot 46. And do we see that? Go up to significant time frames here on hourly. Here's this 236 putting in a clear cut line now. That looks like it was done by Wolfric. It's very purposeful, and you can see how it's playing on price action right now. You can see how Jamie's technical analysis works very well. Measured move up here looking left, also confluent with these horizontal levels. RSI is making it above the center line. This is positive. Previous trend was to the downside. You had a test of that in this exuberance. You haven't yet done anything significant shown by the ADX, so you want to see more strength to confirm the trend, though the momentum is behind you at this stage and looking like it might keep going on the hourly chart. You're not yet above a horizontal level, so that comes with a grain of salt. That grain of salt might be in your shoe by the time you hit the top side of the Bollinger Bands. 50 period simple moving average at around 184 left horizontal. That's interesting. You might find something there, but I wouldn't yet put it on the 1 hour. On the 4 hour, you can see no longer looking at that gap, but there's still areas of interest below 200 period at 186.30. Be surprised to see you make it past there in the top side of the inverted head and shoulders without some more level tests. 177. Maybe you do go through 169 again. That would be in a period of volatility, I suspect. Not all that different from where we've come from, but might feel very different for people if they were getting excited about these lows. And you want to confirm that with tests before you get excited, and you want a confirmation before you make significant trades. 4 hours not giving it to you enough. Dailies below the center line, below its own moving average. Negative trend still in ascendancy. 200 period also coming in around 180, mid 80s. 50 period simple moving average is still above the 200 on this time frame, whereas, and on the 4 hour, whereas on the 1 hour you've got this big gap below. It's not been tested at the 200 yet, though you have come in close to bottom side of the 50. I'd say that's not significant enough. You get your 8 period pardon me, make it more obvious. Get that below you and you keep going with a positive slope on the 1 hour, and then on the 4 hour you manage to open and close above it, then maybe I would look to that 50 period. But I expect there'll be lots of issues to deal with in around these 180s, low 190s before you get there. So that's the GME TA for today. Why didn't my chat box load? Hi everybody, I quoted Kenny, good one, critical hits. Tradespotting, can cheat a cheetah, bing bong. Tradespotting looks more like a fractal, oh aye. Hey Jamie, why the Lego? Alex, many months ago I suggested that it would be good if GME and Lego increased their partnership, and talked about it quite a lot. Subsequent to that, there was Lego ideas shared on the Lego ideas page, which Ryan Cohen retweeted, and so back then Lego was a big chat. That's why there was lots of Lego stuff. There's a guy on Instagram called Brendan Boot who does the design, does motion graphics and stuff, and he does Lego characters and offered to do one for me because he's also a big fan of GME. And at the time he was doing stuff with Jackass things and that, so he did that, and now it's on there. And you know, one of the mini calls Tradespotting made that got credit from certain people who didn't really get mass knowledge, so it's nice. I like it for that reason and others. My car stereo is loving the new soundtrack. That's nice. So you got to drive carefully. Probability that the Hitch fix will smack price down even on a great earnings. I think they'll do it. But your thoughts, Tradespotting? Dirty J is, my thoughts are at 1 billion miles an hour and weigh 1,000 trillion tons. You don't want my thoughts. You want to hear what the charts have been thinking, and I'll happily go on talk about that if you like. Today I have given you the horizontal levels to look to. I'm looking to the top side, Jess. Do you know that Target and Lego came out with Astronaut Plush exclusive? I didn't know that. There's also Braveheart and the Astronaut GME. You might have noticed make appearances from time to time. I want to rock and roll all night and every day. Bob Saget. Merikai, inventing rock and roll. Thanks very much, Merikai. Can't cheetah. Well, I made it back. Someone did another bad murder, didn't they? They did a bad murder. Disgrace. Any suggestions on where we end this Friday? Possibly new higher high or within $200 range. Thanks. This a higher high on the weekly time frame, you're thinking, Drew? This Friday? I wouldn't expect so. Well, I mean, it's still within these horizontals that I've talked about so far, mostly. So if you give me a, like, I mean, you want to look on the weekly time frame. You've put in this low, which is lower than our previous low, but higher than the one that defines the trend here, which was lower than this previous low, right? So this is important, and you're above that. But then, so to speak, if you are going back in time, this is too difficult to use any oscillators, like too far away, not difficult. It's a stupid way of describing it. Am I on the right thing? I am. So is this on GME and we're all correct? Yes. So you're looking for continuation with this pattern, right? As a higher high, likely will be below this 258 level, and you're certainly looking for a higher low than 152. So that's the range that you're talking about. And until such times as you've made some sort of change, right? Although you've touched the 50 period, you've dropped into your horizontals that are interesting, you're in the on the direction of going towards the basis line within your Bollinger Bands from the bottom side. You may or may not be above the center line in your RSI. You've got a positive trend on the DMI. Yeah, all of that is great. But if you're looking for an answer in a specific prediction, it's like on the smaller time frames, which I did the TA on, which is reliable and will take us to certain areas. If you want to know like crazy things beyond that, these are the levels to look to. If you want me to look at the open interest and the options chain and do that sort of thing, cool, I could also do that. But you know, for what has worked out as £1.72, I won't be doing it today. Right, AMC TA up 7.82%, 3104. Zoom. 50 period there again, weekly time frame touched it below the 8 period simple. That's the exponential. You've got your Fibonacci on, that's correct from this high, that's interesting. Currently above the 236. Your wick on price action, no. What is that then? Can you please get out of my way? Oh my gosh, so annoying. Right. Why is that there? Thanks. Cheers. Move that wick. Okay, so that's the start of this move. Excellent. We're still looking ahead to that 8 period. Why is that there? Is it because we've moved this Fibonacci before? I mean, why? This should have come up from here anyway, right? 236. This is what we should have done. And then, why is that there then? Oh, it's from this breakdown level. No, something else. Daily time frame. Not the horizontal. 4 hour. So an inverted head and shoulders and measured move off of that, quite possibly, but we've not really got that here on this time frame. 1 hour. Okay, there it is. So again, right, it's all about the short-term time frames. You've had a little bit of a recovery from your breakdown. You've recovered above the 236 on this and are holding it on significant time frames hourly. You've got a measured move that will take you up to in and around testing the trend based on the Fibonacci retracement, and you have a 200 period moving average coming in around the same area, 179, exactly at it. So exactly what I'm thinking is quite obvious there. Still similar, you're above the center line, positive trend RSI, but your trend in terms of the DMI is like nothing. 4 hour will go back up from the hourly and then down to the tiny time frames after. You're recovering out of the bearish control zone. Negative trend losing its momentum, though it's in a strong place. It could turn up at any moment, and any push back down towards these horizontals would do that. This is not yet giving you significant breaks of any horizontals. Daily time frame made it out of the bearish control zone, still got a negative trend in ascendancy, and that is strengthening with regards to ADX. Manifest density, 20 bucks. That's very, very good. Thank you. Unreasonable value. Thank you very much, Manifest. So yeah, and you got that at 3-day, 2-day similar deal, right? You've even got like a little bit of a positive trend there. 2-day, daily. What did we want to see here? Yeah, I mean, it defeats a lot of the bullish theses with its sort of half-hearted move up here, AMC. You would like it to do more emphatically, and that presents as a weakness on these levels. Potentially this is an abandoned baby. It's like not really, but kind of. So we'll see, right? I mean, you get another positive open close tomorrow. These moves themselves aren't emphatic enough. Especially when you know the history of this thing, eh? You know, like, for example, you were around 4 or 5 days ago at the start of December when the thing did a 34 bucks down to 26. I mean, you know what it can do in a day. So, and that's like the same move that you're looking to get back above. You draw a Fibonacci on that, you've not done anything yet, right? Not even tested 786, you're only really in the golden pocket. Your 236 was just wicks. 382, you went through it at pace, great, you were going to the 618. Here you are, open close within that golden pocket, got a wick up to your 8 period moving average, but you can't break it, you can't even make it above the 200, you know, it's 12 hour, whatever. Right, I mean, same story, right? Daily time frame, same story, obviously. 8 period here, you want to get above it. 786, that is when you're thinking, like, are we actually recovering from this breakdown? And the 886, you break that, you might actually think it's worth putting money on. If it hasn't done significant tests of these previous levels, and if they're confluent with horizontal, all the more so, and there's the 4 hour and 1 hour, look left on these time frames, most of it's behind my head there. You see, you're not, right? Left hand shoulder, or your neckline might be on the head and shoulders, you're not even above that yet. So you want to get this measured move, so do I, right? And this is just another thing, right? I got an annoying comment from a guy called Vince, who's like, oh, you watch you all the time, but then I saw this and I got worried and and I think you're fucking here making money off this and that. It's like, fuck off, eh? Like, you've got no idea the cost to me for doing these things. Never mind what I want or don't want to happen and whether or not that's happening on a chart. You've got no fucking idea what I like. So fuck off making assumptions about me and that. And if you don't find it helpful, well, you're not fucking welcome. Hit that like button. Thanks very much for everybody who tunes in and appreciates what I put out here. So yeah, you're looking for positive moves on AMC, you're looking for it to complete this head and shoulders, you're looking for it to turn around and this for it to be major bullish divergence, right, between these two lows, which is taking you this up to the 50 simple period moving average on the 1 hour time frame. All well and good, but I want to see it way above there. And sure, you also take you to your 200 on the daily, which is what you'd expect from that move. And that too suggests maybe you do have like a touch at your own moving average out of the bearish control zone. There is something to prove at this point. Maybe you do it in price action and go on again. Brilliant. Which I'd like to see as much as anybody else. 15-minute time frame. You've got a negative slope on your important moving average, 200 simple, and you've got it on this tiny time frame on the 8 period. That's not desperately strong. That and being below these horizontals, not neither. You need to start making big moves up above 35.94, and then on bigger time frames, opening and closing, and you need to break the overall Fibonacci's at 41 and 44. Right, after going up through there, then you can be excited about it again. Unfortunately, until then, you're only going to be excited about this thing if you're buying it at lows. And like the same, like we might have identified them ages ago and be like executing on them now, but that doesn't necessarily translate into us all being super excited. It doesn't necessarily translate into that. So yes. Definitely a safe space for people who are interested in these assets and aren't interested in all of the nonsense that goes around with it. I mean, because right, plenty of people have investments and they don't go up as much as these two assets are going to go up and whatnot, and they don't get criticized for it. So it is a little bit old when there's other things you can talk about. Anyway, generally speaking, what else were we looking at? Uranium made a little bit of a turn back. SPY continued that. It's a little bit of a gap, but we talked about how it would likely recover with the bullish divergence. It's likely going to show up on the chart in a second. Hurry up and do it there. I got the new internet the other day. Right, go for it. Good one. Good on you. Here's your so useless. Oh. Hurry up, internet. I got full fiber broadband there, so I don't know why it's slowing down. Got it installed yesterday and it meant that I got no sleep. So you've recovered back to the bottom side of this wedge. Did that after putting in a series of foolishly divergent lows. 1, 2, 3. Tradespotting likes 3 touches of it. There's it again. Right, slightly simpler TA. Look, there's the important line to pay attention to if you're long-term trading SPY. Low risk sort of things. There's like silver's made its move, like fantastic. We thought it would do. Congratulations. Rolls-Royce continues and to pursue close this gap. Congratulations. Try that horizontal next. Thank you very much. Roblox, good recovery from that area. What an excellent fucking TA there was here, by the way. That's insane. That's insane, right? Took you there from 140. $104, that's what we called. You got the touch on a wick. Since then, you're back up at 120. This is incredible TA. PCT made another way of that move. We've talked about this here, right? This retrace was after some profit was taken. Good trades from some people there. Gold also making that similar move from silver. NEGG continues that excellent move. Didn't quite get as low as I would have liked, but Rocky got that perfectly. And then naked 1, 2, 3 coming into the lowest level best value. We talked about that buy. I don't know if other people look at this. I do for various purposes, but interesting moves there. GME, talked about it. EVGO 3.29 came back to test these levels. Continuation expected. Bed Bath and Beyond. Burberry. Blackberry, sorry, there you go. Started that move again. Called these lows. Talked about these horizontal levels at the top. Speaks for itself. That AHT trading back down. We talked about the danger of this yesterday. Rocky did cover it closely. Here's these bonds that are so very relevant to us. I don't know why I've not got my notification thing on. Silly me. Now I'm not seeing things come in. I've just not set it up properly. Pretty wood up. Pretty wood up. Fiddly bing bong. There it is. It did come up. Nope, I missed it. Good one, Jimmy. Good one, Jimmy, lad. Dash EC, 10 British pounds. Thank you very much. Thanks for HTS. No problem, BJ. Did you able to make anything of it though? You were very busy with your house getting blown away. Australia is famous for crap internet. Maybe in Australia. Over here it's famous for prawns. Prawns? On the Barbie, that's where you put them, right? You keep them there somewhere. It's like a fridge or something. Admission that the IPO has flopped. Which IPO? Good day for CAD-V today, Tradespotting. Was it? Thank you very much, Dash-EC. 12.5%. Is that what we're talking about? Colonial coal. Colonial coal. Aye, not terrible. Also alright for Clean Spark. But you see these recoveries so often fail at the same area every time. DWAC. No. Diddle it up, but diddle it up. Forward with a 5% move, right? I just need to talk about things and they go up. Look at the fucking technical analysis we did on this, by the way. Anyway, what? Oh, favourite, Hood. What's it been doing? I expected it to take a little bit of a bounce, didn't I? Diddle it. Where are we here, Hood? Where are you, little shithead? Aye, so we talked about this. Let's take a little bit of a bounce. But, and hey, you know, right, it's likely people will be trading it to make money off it, but I would suggest you get rid of it, generally speaking, because it's a piece of crap. Other good moves. No Labs Inc. had a bit of a tough time recently. Testing a previous low. Really good candle that. Like to see it. Now, this was obviously a very bullish candle before it on the daily time frame. Getting a doji like that, hammer at the bottom or morning star or whatever. Right, whichever. METX looks decent. METX, Tradespotting, are you still preaching major moves on GME for the 13th to the 15th of December? Frank, you say preaching major moves, right? What you're doing there is characterizing what I said in a way that I never said it, you know? And like, you've been around here a while and asked loads of questions and I've been incredibly helpful, right? I have been incredibly helpful to you, perhaps more than any other YouTuber has been to you directly. And now you're saying things that are putting words in my mouth, right? That's not how I expressed it. That's not how I expressed it. Well, maybe why you're saying that is because the only one who could ever speak to you. Well, predicting. Am I still predicting? Okay, phew. Cheers, Frank. Yeah, am I predicting them? Well, it's still true to say that I wasn't predicting them, right? I was saying that that'll be likely the sort of time that you would see one if you were going to see one. There will be a phase change in the market, and that's where I'm expecting to see some interesting price action. Should it be that it takes us down to $12, then it'll still be true to say that Tradespotting thought something was going to happen, like you say, major moves. But I don't necessarily expect us to be hitting like 3,000, 4,000 or whatever that is. Anyway, yeah, sorry if I misjudged you. Cheers, Frank. Jay, corn on the cob. What does that say? Can you please take a look at BBN on the Australian Stock Exchange? Love your TA. Thanks very much from Senor Cobb. Yes, I can look at BBN. BBN, Australian Stock Exchange. This is it, Baby Bunting Group. What do babies need with bunting, as it happens? Babies don't even get credit cards. What does this company actually do? Engages in the operation of nursery one-stop baby shop. Offers prams, car seats. Right, okay, so it's like Mothercare in Britain, which went bankrupt there a few years ago because like Amazon and whatnot. And yes, well, with regards to people in Australia having lots of babies or something, why does this keep going up? What's going on with this thing that it keeps going up then? Well, okay, I see what you got here then. See what you got here then. I'm blue dabba dibba dabba dobba dee. Oh. Don't be. Be green. Great stunner music, bruh. Thanks, Chris. Thanks. That's just an added benefit of the beautiful music is that it also works for these things. Bing bong, bing bong. Tradespotting, can cheat, I cheat. Oh yeah, we got that. If I missed any other messages, I quite possibly have done. If I have, I'm sorry. Let's see. Maybe they're over here. Move that over. Jake or in the cob. Thank you very much. Dashi Lee is appreciated. Manifest Density, thank you. DK, $5 before we started. I'm about to FOMO in a loop ring. Okay, loop ring. Loop ring. Well, here we are on BBN. Daily time frame. Dun, 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 dun. 236 coming in at your 618 extension. Golden bucket here. So obviously not looking to that yet, but these are important levels. Take this on, delete the Fibonacci. Look left and you can see the horizontals that stick out more than others. I'd say that doesn't need to have a magnet on any longer, so that I can actually do proper TA. And thank you very much, stupid magnet tool. And then you can see that's just as much, might as well be where it actually is. Same with these. 4 hour. Boom, boom, boom. Back touching your own 236 at the minute of this last move. Another lower high on the gold end for this one. Seems to be respecting the fib levels. You've got a really negative trend, it's really strong. ADX usually turns around at these places. As you can see, looking left, the strength of that trend follows suit straight afterwards. And same to be said on the downside, likely you don't get much more of pressure down. You've got a significant amount of bullish divergence between these lows with much higher low on price action but lower low on RSI, so something pulling through there would be good. It's made its way to the 4 hour. On the 1 hour I expect to see a big chunk of it there. Yeah, huge from its previous touch of this 236, so likely you do get a bounce here. If not, you're coming back down to 473. If it's just above that, then you're on again, probably to another 1618 from here. That would be all the way up at $7.99 or thereabouts, close to $8. Pretty good move, likely. Maybe you're waiting to see that RSI above the center line, this above the 786, maybe the 886. Maybe you want to see on those higher time frames the negative trend take a down. 15 minutes. Another touch of that divergence. Maybe your trend is changing. We'd need to see this push up again now. You know, you really would need to see it push up, recover its own 200 period moving average in a 15-minute time frame. See this above 5.68. You need to see that soon. You've got everything you need on the RSI, and you have one. The trend is to the top side on these tiny time frames. So you need to see that follow through and go all the way up to higher and do better. Do much better. LRC. Up 0.78%. Let's go up to the daily time frame, right? So I mean, you're going to have to look at all other cryptocurrencies if you want to know what's going on with one in particular or how it's performing with respect to the rest of the market. You've had a really good move already. It has to what, you know, this is the thing, right? When you want to make the most of following along with Tradespotting, well, it's the 2-3 weeks that I'm saying, right? This thing, or whatever it was, is going to go back to 1.6. That's where you want to make the most of the TA, because then you're in it already, and when it's back up at 2.4, you've made lots of money already. FOMOing into things, never a good idea, never a good idea. On the daily time frame, you've put in a doji, you've closed below the 8-period moving average. Sure, you had a nice candle beforehand, bullishly engulfing, but it wasn't a Pearson pattern in the end. You didn't recover enough here. 4-hour time frame, you've just been stalled at the 200-period moving average. Itself has crossed above the 50. It's the worst type of possible of golden cross you can get, is when the long-term trend cuts through the shorter-term time frames trend, which is dying. This low here was bullishly divergent, so it takes you up to a 200 period. If the daily time frame 200 period is way below you, so you were going to go to the one on the 4-hour, at that point you can look left and you see again it's the same problem. Like maybe you broke above the 786 here, full retracement of this, but that wasn't ever the breakdown point, was it? You know, price action before that was in this little bit of a range, and put in this failure to go up. That's where you take it from. 236, you're only actually at the golden pocket, never mind breaking the 786, never mind the 886 up here. Right, so most of the profitable move and the good trading on LRC was entering here, and then being like, wow, thanks so much, Jamie, and then, you know, having it here and then thinking like, well, what'll I do? I'll manage my own trade, take some profit, wait for a retrace, perhaps up down as far as the 236 again. You've had it once, maybe now it's 0.5. 8-period moving average there, maybe it takes you up. You'll need something above these levels to reduce the risk. 200-period moving average here on a 4-hour below you, a test of that sort of thing. 1 hour, 50 periods down there as well, 2.3 something, 2.335 also coming in that. Maybe that's what happens. Hi Jay, cheers Jamie for doing that. No problem. Was it you that asked me, Jay? Or not, it was before, Jamie recording the cob. You're super welcome. Thanks very much for the donation. What about Tezos, Miller? Tezos, well, you got your fucking entries on Tezos, didn't you? Anyway, so, thank you very much. So you're looking for this thing to break up at 3.16 and above. Like, there's a much bigger chance of a trade from that area taking you up to 4 and change. Maybe you'd look for retesting around that. This is a W bottoms, very good for recovery, but at this point most of the trade has been executed. I know I sound like I'm like blah 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 and that, but actually like that's the truth right there. And now like the risk on this thing and the reward that comes with taking that, it's like somebody else's, right? It's not yours surely. These would be the best entries, or else you get the retest, right? Now they haven't had it yet. In fact, you failed to recover properly. So, like, despite this being a W, I'm looking for more on the, you know. Well, and there's other things too. Like we can look at Tezos, but did you see you got DOT at 25 again? Right, $25 you got DOT again. This thing. DOT it was recently at 55. This thing's going to be worth thousands of dollars. You could have got it at 25, and people are like, "Ah, could I make the money on? Can I, you know, on Litecoin, on LRC?" I know, right? Because I trade it too, and I care about it too. But don't FOMO all in LRC, right? Instead, just fucking do something else with your time and put it. You know, look at DOT, right? Right, not just, I mean, you could have got this even cheaper. Like, but they could have done it with loads of things, Thank you very much, Justin. Bis mucho apreciados. I keep noticing JPM, but I don't think Jamie Dimon actually has diamond hands. If he could trade J, could we see it? You can see JPM. It's Jamie Dimon. Unfortunately, his name isn't Diamond. Or fortunately, if you like diamonds. Where is JPM? Likely blue, right? Whoa, where did I put it? Where's JPM at? Just type it in there. silver's going up, innit? So they're happy, whatever. Woo! Most important, keep up that great work, Jamie and Rocky. Chris Sweeney, member for 7 months. Fucking hell. Thank you very much, Chris. So, Tarsh, taking you back to 1970. So you're missing out on 50 years of price action here, but I can tell you that this was as low as you're gonna get. Jamie Dimon himself thinks this is going to last longer than the Communist Party in China. Well, he does, he says that, and then the day later he's like, I'm so sorry, I'm just a bitch, please forgive me, China. Tradespotting, is Jamie also sometimes referred to as James in Scotland? Just curious, is I? Jamie's like what they would call people called James or Jamesy, and my name is James, but everyone calls me Jamie. That was what. Anyway, Mum wanted to call me Jamie, and they decided to call me Jamie. And then Dad goes to the place where you write it down and whatnot, and he's like, "Yeah, well, I'm just going to call him James because that's my name, isn't it?" So we did that. What about Tezos, my lord? Oh, yeah, Tezos. Sorry, I should have done Tezos. Tezos up a 30% today, like 30% moves. Oops. So here's Tezos. Tezofficians. So the Tezosophians. How's your month's going? Bit up, bit down, bit like here it's egg. Let's turn off the drawings, make it a little bit more in. And here we go. Look at the work on that thing. Is that the bottom of a trend? If so, this thing's going fucking mental up next month. 3 months time. Where could it be? Who the fucking somewhere really fucking high. That's where. Come on, I bought the internet. It's got the broadband, so this wouldn't happen anymore. Hello. Thanks, internet. So this nice, not bullish engulfing, whatever, right? Still very, very good. Previous candle before it, big couple of big weeks movement there. Lots of money to be made. Stop losses definitely add value to your portfolio over time. You think about it. There's your 200 period test, 3-day, 2-day daily time frame. You're below it. Positive candlesticks here. Bullish engulfing. Nope. Okay, nope. With this wick. Not broke above this breakdown high yet, but you have made it above the 786. Continuation expected. If you can hold these levels or retest the 200 at 4.7 would be an amazing bargain right now. These Tezos levels, we got some of them. Didn't quite get all of the entries. I might have been like looking for. I've already got the TA on here, right? So this was a great low. We came in, we put in this high looking left. It was a higher body close in our previous one. We expected continuation of this channel, and we said that ultimate bargains would be in around here, though you might not get them. And we said that these would be the entries in around a golden pocket retrace, which is where you got your lowest body close on that daily time frame. And then this wick low, you know, maybe you would get some in at 786 if you'd been watching it at the time, because you were like, holy shit, things are falling down. You might have got some there. And then this low, unfortunately, we didn't get any of it. And then they come back up and you've hit your first take profit target already. Second one I'm looking for up at 6.2, but I'd be, you know, beating 5.7 without a test of 4.7. That'd be interesting in of itself. I just don't necessarily expect it. Mind you, I've already got some of it, so maybe that's affecting my opinions. I would like to see it come back down there and get some more. And then I think this thing over the next few months does make its way back up and tries going for $10 on the Tezos. $10 on the Tezos, on the Tezos. D-Arker, exactly, that goes to dead money. Bulldog Buchanan, yes, the smoke, but I don't either, to be honest. Yeah, me neither. What are we talking about? I don't do that. I don't have thoughts of my own, so I'm going with your guys' thoughts. This is the best simulation ever, isn't it, Firov? It's so good. So good. If only it came with some sleep. To hell with the internet. Yeah, who needs it? Wait, I'll just ditch the internet and speak to you without it, and speak directly to you with the resonating thoughts. Internet, I'll just well get on the radio. Thal, D-Arker, does uranium trade as commodities, or do you pick up uranium mining companies? Well, there's like ETFs and all the rest of it, isn't there? Bump. Or you just trade the UUUs. Chris, can we look at what? Hashtag 39. Did you do METX? Just got home. No, do in 2 seconds, BMG. What are you saying there, Chris? King Jimmy, can we have a look at a PayPal, please? I think it's possibly a bargain, and I know Scots love a bargain. Concern doggy. Dodge. Concern dodge. Concern dodge. Dodge. What does that mean? Doggo. I don't understand what that last bit means, but I know what you wanted to look at. The PayPals. Like, truly, goodness, that's on the list. I'll add buttons to the chat request there. Blue. PayPal. PayPal. Are you here, PayPal? Oh, we looked at this on a Tradespotting Fridays from time to time. Where are you? PayPal up 3.3%. Nice retrace there. Daily, so much of a strength. Like, let's actually let me just check. 179 a weekly. Boom. Link to the description in the course. Think about taking that course there. And we've changed it now. You can only join using PayPal because, like, one day I'll tell you all about it, and at which point you'll be like, holy shit, good on you, Jamie. But until then, it's just PayPal. So please think about signing up. It's a great course. You'd enjoy it. Right, and what was we talking about here? PayPal, yes. So the retrace, 179 period moving average. You had put in bearish divergence, 1, 2, 3 touches of it. It came back down, touched the bottom of the bearish control zone. Lower high on price action. It's not much of a low though to compare, is it? It's part of an uptrend. It is a significant area on the weekly, so we can take it looking left. All three of these being interesting areas. Like to see that touch there. It is a very good opportunity right now, PayPal there. Just looking at that, as you can tell, it already is. 3-day, you're looking to make it above that 200 period moving average and out of this bearish control zone. Maybe you're waiting for a move out or a retrace of these levels, which cut a lot of profit off your move, but it would reduce a lot of the risk. Possibly good move with the DI minus turning down there, and so they're both in this sort of area where they would, though they don't need to immediately, though that's already happened. That immediately might have been here when you thought it was over. That is down to one. That's a big move, eh? You know, it's a big fuck off move, man. 42%. You got your horizontals really obvious now. Your 50 period is coming down towards your 200. Now that means on the daily time frame, you're going to see that right at each other's throats there. Cross, likely a nicely trade. This is a really easy one. This is a great shout, mate. Good shout. Got that as your entry. Looking left, easy. Get stops on this one. Taking it up just to the 200 period there. Test of this cross. That would be obvious take profit areas. Looking left, you can see breakdown zones. I mean, you could go from here, you could go from here, go from there. Still got your trade. Risk reward over 7 to 1. And that's just your 200 on the daily on this. It's like, might take a couple of days to really initiate that move. 4-hour time frame, get above that 50, break this horizontal here, take that in in one big kick in the face. 1 hour, you've got your 50, take it to the 200. Let's see that. Let's see this golden cross in the hourly time frame tested after we test that one on higher time frames, the death cross. Let's see that. 15 minutes. At these important horizontals, you've dropped out of the bullish control zone, though you've had your test of the center line. This wasn't, you know, divergence didn't really become part of it. Looking left, you can see you had your bullish divergence here, took you above this horizontal for a second. This retest, bottom side of the Bollinger Bands, having made that move after the volatility gaps closed. You might see it come back down to 188, but I don't know. Even then, this is potentially a really good one. See what it acts like over the next wee while. if it starts moving this whole range, it's like I've taken it from the 1 minute, but that's just so that I can see what I'm drawing on this area. Like if it breaks this whole range in a 15-minute candle, I mean, there's a lot of different ways you could do this, but like without being crazy. If you do get that test down again, that'd be a great entry at 185. It would be great. If you don't, and you're looking at this, maybe you want to take profits around $200 when it gets back up there. And then, oh look, oh no, we did that earlier. And then full extension on that, put 247. Do I think it's going to go there? Do I? A lot of the enthusiasm recently for PayPal has been because of its interest in crypto, and a lot of these moves down have been some of that sheen wearing off. But charts don't lie, mate. This is going fucking mental. Loads of bearish divergence pulled it back to these areas. Sure, it did it before here, and then look what happened. Right, it went from $87 to 218. So yes, good shout onto PayPals. Kind of remember to not to forget the sacrifice. Are we sacrificing somebody today? It really doesn't feel like we're sacrificing people recently. Not getting the vibes that that's what's happening. Erg. Where is everybody? Is everybody just busy or something? How come the views aren't there and the interactions aren't the same? What's up with that? I know it isn't me. I know it ain't me. Anyway, so I hope you've enjoyed today's technical analysis and you've had a nice time on this show. I'm sorry I didn't get it. FVRR is not bad too. Not bad. FVRR. Don't have it on charts, I don't think. Where are you? Fiverr, right? Where is it? I think I've done TA on it before, but I don't see it here. It's annoying. It's annoying, isn't it? Isn't that annoying? Fiverr. HEXO. Oh shit, we're going to do METX for Bad Mama Jamma. Please chart, stop doing this. Right. At the 1618. Up 10%. Yeah. 1.45. 1618. Is that the next entry? It's got bullish divergence. It's not much of a move considering, eh? Low, high. High, low. Sounds if you can keep the tadpoles at bay a wee bit longer, well, my lad. Guitar Inside, no tadpole games. No tadpole games this week. Had to reduce the variable costs. So the tadpole games will be back shortly. New and improved, don't worry, that'll always come back, new and improved, but we haven't taken a break until sort things out properly. Everything's getting like too has to be like I have to make it so that it makes sense for me to be doing this stuff. Just completed my week 1 assessment. Thanks again for putting the tours together. Excellent Komodosh, nice one. More stuff coming on that tomorrow. Rocky and I'll be working on putting up a lot of the new content tomorrow. Not that that'll be due for everybody's inbox tomorrow, but it's happening. And if anyone's thinking of signing up, please use PayPal, not Stripe. Stripe. The way my interactions so far with Stripe are that I feel like Stripe are deliberately trying to destroy my business. They're deliberately trying to harm all my efforts, and they're doing it really in a really unfair and frankly ridiculous way, you know, like a totally absurd, ridiculous way. And like I really think they should do something about it with a strong degree of urgency. I think Stripe should immediately change tact. And I can't understand their behavior. Can't understand, oh, it's very, very, very harming to what I'm trying to do. So, and all my efforts, it's really harming my efforts, Stripar, at the minute. I don't know why. So this has got bullish divergence. HEXO, it's had a little bit of a move. It got above its own 236, not yet. You'd like to see it do better than that. You'd like to see it come back to the daily 200 period moving average. Not even name that tune. $10 if you tell me I lost Tadpole Games. You did lose it. You lost it real bad, Guitar Inside. You were a huge loser of Tadpole Games previously, and you will. And t-shirts en route. So yes, so that, and it would be great to be making some progress on things. So anyway, so 236 1.09. It's not managed to make it above that. Never mind, make it. What were we looking at for you, Guitar Inside? Did you just ask me something beforehand? Yes, sends. Okay, no problem. Thanks so much, Komodo Josh. That's really appreciated that you chuck in a fiver as well. Cheers, mate. Yeah, not even name that tune. Not even name that tune. It was that takes a while. They'll know, you know, the old not even name that. Not even. Love that though. So yeah, your 618 is where you're looking to. If you break this golden pocket, that'll take you up to 145. It's a huge increase in price. Not really hard to do the maths. So what's the risk reward on that? Well, if you take it after an open and a retest of the 236, you might have to mark it in 4 hour. Maybe you do get the time, like that took a while to make it here. Now is that resistance and not the place to enter, despite how good it might look, and up to 10%. You might think, well, look at these and look at the horizontals up here at this ultimate 236, this bigger Fibonacci. But that's at this horizontal 786, and that is the area where you might have to take profit, you know. But here's your 236. You want to open and close above that, and then look for that trade. And if you do, what is that in terms of a percentage move? Right, you go 50%. Congratulations there. Now the math wasn't difficult, but we got it all right. And the risk reward on that's like, I mean, you could use this, take it across. You enter on a retest of the 236. You take your stop at what, this wick here. And then you're looking for a huge move. Maybe if you're looking for that really 50% on that. And you're entering because of the 236, you could take this body close. You could take it depending on how, like, I mean, depending on how that evolves, which is always the difficulty with giving, like, putting a long position on the charts, is that most people don't actually understand what I'm saying. You're waiting for, on the lower term time frames, maybe the hourly, some sort of candlestick entry from a bullish candlestick pattern, which itself will define the entry and the stop at that point of that trade, and that'll help you define the risk reward ratio at that moment, which will help you work out how much it is that you could invest in that trade for a profitable strategy over time. So when I say this would be a good place to enter at Tuesday, that's what I mean. There's a lot more that happens afterwards. Then anyway, at which point maybe you've got, that'll help you define your stop loss. Maybe it's down below the 8 period, maybe it's looking left at this, maybe it's something else, but you know, whatever. And then if your move's only up into here to the 618 or these sort of breakdown areas or previous, like maybe these are the, maybe going all the way up, I don't know, right? But take a dis down, say it was to that 618, 236. Still got a healthy enough trade on the go. I have to just go now here till Kingdom Come to find out what the risk reward is on this thing. Why is it so ridiculously fat? You need to go on a diet long position. Right, risk reward 9.8. Don't know if you take all of that, right? Take profits at the first 382 at the 0.5 and then bottom side of that golden pocket. Why is this line here? Or something else? Looks like there might be some other targets there for we talked about, so that's now at the 0.5, would have previously been at the 618. What were these drawings? If only I knew, I'd have to go back and watch my own videos. And we were going to do, did we do METX? Is that what it was for? Did we do METX? Where is it? Not here now. There it is. Up 5.17. A little bit further more than I expected on that retrace. That was a nice one. Let's draw this in properly now. Golden pockets, 3, 2. Which one's this? A little bit dodgy with that lower low there. Nor even, despite the fact that it's completely irrelevant due to the ridiculous look back period, it's also not divergent at all. The trend change would have been natural. The ADX coming back so much is good to see on top of those turnarounds, because they could have been a fake out, and being above the center line RSI, that's very positive. It's a 1 hour, and though you haven't made it back above this horizontal, you're trapped below the 236. A lot of things like this, you're waiting to see them open and close above the 236. You don't want to be trapped and enter things on the back of other people, like enthusiasm. Other people's trades have taken you places that you can't sustain price action, or it can't sustain itself, and you'll be entering and holding that bag for a while. Opportunity cost of just taking a move after the first part's happened. Thank you very much, Generation Ape. How are you doing? Great to see you, my buddy. Good to tea to milk or milk to tea. It's funny, growing up, everyone's like, oh, put the milk in first so you don't burn yourself. Like, you know, I have to get the hot water into the teapot, right? How are you supposed to put milk in your teapot first, right? It's obviously not the way it was made to be made, with tea first and then the milk goes in after. Don't know why people do it the other way around. I can only speculate it's because they don't want to burn their hands, which is perfectly acceptable, right? No. For example, right? Not very good eyesight or whatever, you're going to want to put the milk in first, especially if you have to measure it with your finger in it or whatever. Don't want it to be too hot. Depends if you're using a teapot or tea bags. It does make it a lot easier if you could just chuck all the milk in first, doesn't it? But then it also takes longer in the end anyway. It's like a lazy man's load. You think you've done yourself a favour and you have to wait for ages for the tea to actually, you know. But sometimes when you're doing an internet stream, you just don't have time and you're like, fucking, where is the kettle gone? I don't know, but I know the milk's here, so there goes the milk. And then you're like, then the water, and then you're like, come in here and start drinking it and realise you never had a tea bag. So that sort of thing happens. Oh no. Oh, you want to know what's even better than tea bags, right? This is it, the best kind of tea. It's even better than tea, right? And this, I don't know why I allowed myself to eat supper. I'm back. I'm more confused than ever. This is it, eh? This is it, Bulldog. Why did I allow myself to stuff my face? I don't know, but you can make up for it by having a chocolate bar or something, right? I would do that, make me feel better. I would do that if I ever ate. Eating, eh? That'd be good. Eating, sleeping, those sort of things. It's very important that you eat and sleep properly if you want to be trading at your best, especially if you're learning. What? Who's in the Matrix? Who's a healer? I need both contacts, please. I don't have no contacts. I know nothing. I read it in a book. Jamie, you're the man. Thank you very much. Bulldog Buchanan, you're always confused. That's a nice compliment there from Kieran, isn't it, Bulldog? At the end, and the end cometh neareth. And then, no, you see, you thought the end was coming near because, well, probably because of what happened yesterday. What happened yesterday was an exception to the rule. The truth is, nothing like that.